Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to go over the round 1 results for Clashfronts. I haven't seen them yet, and because we're up against pretty difficult guilds, we're in the legendary tier, and I wanted to see which teams are going to get the most win streaks out of my teams as well as the other teams which other guilds may have deployed. And just so that we have a better idea of what actually are the top performing teams, and then maybe you guys can copy these teams and use them for your future rounds of Clashfronts. So yeah, now it is our first time in legendary tier. I think the strongest guild here is Celestials, and they used a lot of their team against us, and we also used a lot of our team against them. Asylum hardly used anything against our bottom grid. Maybe we should have went more all in on the upper grid. Like, what my plan was, we put 60 up top and 40 to the right. And, but maybe we should have done like 80 and 20, but I didn't know. I thought Asylum might have tried to attack us. Either way, we did put all of our strongest members in the top one and our weaker members in the lower grid. So hopefully we have a chance of winning against Celestials here. It's pretty important to win this first grids, but yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so far so good. We're doing well on the top. We have Splash, his top 4 teams on the upper grid, and also Wooster's strong teams on the upper grid, and my strong teams as well. And we also quite easily win the bottom grid, but that's because Asylum wasn't even trying there. They went all out for Afterworks, which makes sense. This is a really important strategy. If you know that you're an underdog in the fight, you need to go all in on the grid against the guild who is the easiest for you to beat. Like Asylum went for Afterworks, knowing that we're a pretty strong guild, it will be difficult for them to face us, and this was a smart play by them. Afterworks needed to go all in on probably either grid. I would have probably thought going all in onto Asylum would make sense, but maybe they had to go for Celestials. Okay, so let's take a look at the overall replay and take a look at the number. Oh wow, 8 win streaks from Splash is insane. Like, especially after the change to Fatigue. And is it the... It isn't even his Dunling or Diurnal team. It's his Hypogean Celestial team. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to save all of these formations. I want to save Splash's formations, and then we're going to take a look at all of them together, back to back, so you have an idea of which teams you can run. Because I think if you have Talion and Frester built, you could also run this team. It's really impressive that this got an 8 win streak. Okay, let's take a look at some more. Selena getting a 2 win streak. We won't take a look at all of those. We want to see like a 3+ win streak, and then maybe we'll take a look at that. And keep in mind, this is against a really powerful guild. Like, to get 8 win streaks against Celestials is no joke, and that's very difficult. So Cat got a 3 win streak, which is not bad. And using Lightbearer Tassi team with even a Mythic plus Tassi, which is really strong. So we're going to save that. Very similar to one of the teams I'm running, but Haywin as well. It's kind of like an AFK stage type team. Arashi got 3 win streak, again, with the Lightbearer Tassi team, with Vala on it as well. Yeah, so I think so far it really shows that the Tassi team is doing really well for Clashfronts. Viewer's got a win streak on with his, okay, his Scarlita Stroll team, like the one that I'm running. We'll save that as well. It might be the same formation. And Splash got another 4 win streak. So my team didn't even get a chance to fight in this top one, or Booster's team didn't get a chance to fight either. And those are probably some pretty strong options as well. Looking over here, the ones which got the win streaks were Malasuki, 2 win streak. Okay, nothing too impressive there. Let's take a look here at the other guilds. 5 win streak from Nightscare, and he was running, oh wow, Mauler team. Mauler team with Odie, really interesting. Definitely a more free-to-play friendly team, but it did have Ulsa on it. And then what else do we have here? We have a 2 win streak. Okay, and then 1 3 win streak from Nuxie, which is using a legendary Lily May with a 2 win streak or 3 win streak. And Parissa and Florabelle, like kind of like an all wilder team. Let's save that. So another option for you guys to try. And then finally, we have over here some 2 win streaks. Let's take a look for 3 win streak if we can find it. Okay, we got 1 3 win streak from Robertson. Okay, well, I mean, this is also because it was up against a pretty weak enemy team, so I'm not going to consider that as a fair 3 win streak. There we go, 5 win streak. That's what I'm talking about. This has another Mauler team with Lily May. Okay, well, again, I mean, this is against kind of weak opponents. However, oh, okay, are they all weak? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I still think this is a reasonable idea to try, or maybe it's not a fair example. Okay, so we have some teams to look at. I still think the teams that I fielded were pretty strong. They didn't have a chance to play at all, and that's why we weren't able to get any win streaks or any matches in total. Okay, we're not able to... Well, when the new round begins, we are going to be able to edit the formations in the deploy phase, but right now we won't. Okay, so we'll stop this auto progress and we'll go into talent stages, because then we can actually see the talent orbs as well. The buff tiles. Okay, so the overall strongest team was the one by Splash. And this has the main Fresser in front of Talion for energy recovery, the Illusion in front of Rainier for damage reduction, and the interesting thing is the tiles, these are going to be active as long as the prime carriers are alive. And Lily May is very difficult to kill, especially if you're going to give her the damage reduction from the position swap of Rainier at the plus 10 exclusive equipment. And then you have Damien, who basically never dies because he has his Toy Chariot. Those are the two prime carriers. And you have the Tide Call spell, because like you have two Frestos to add to the ultimate casting, so you can activate a bit more quickly. Overall, I would not expect this to be such a strong team, but this did really well for him, and it like is a team you could run even without needing Scarlita. A lot of people will have Rainier belt, and if you have Fresser and Talion belt, you can go for this team. This seems really strong. And yeah, I don't have Talion belt, otherwise I would probably give this a try. Very interesting team, so a great option that you can definitely try out. And now the other team from my guildmates are the Tassi Lightbearer teams, and all of these did really well. With the Resonating Spell on Tassi, either you can go for Resonating Spell or Valor Shield Spell. Both of them are going to basically increase the energy generation of Tassi to cast her ultimate more quickly, and then also more frequently. You need to have 3 Lightbearers, and Rowan on the other buff tile is a good choice. And then Haywin, this is basically like an AFK stage. You have Haywin to protect your team with her ultimate for the damage reduction and healing. And usually your team will survive long enough for that to come off. And Lucius just as a tank, and Tumisa for some crowd control. So this is a great Lightbearer Tassi team without a double or triple threat, just like a purely Lightbearer Tassi team, which can work. For example, the team that I showed in my formations yesterday, I'm trying a triple threat with Lily May, Vala, and Tassi all together, which I think is overall stronger. However, this one like allows you to then use those Tassi and Vala the Lily May and Vala in a different team, and that can allow you to put together 2 other potentially strong teams along with this one. So I think this is a really good option for you to try as well. And then taking a look at some of the other ones, the other team was by another guildmate of mine who was running this team with Vala and Tassi on the Lightbearer tiles like we also were using. And what artifact? It didn't copy the artifact. Okay, it was Valor Shield spell, that's why. So it must have been Valor Shield spell. And yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This is very similar to the team that I am running, but I'm also trying Lily May instead of the Haywin. Haywin is a great option here as well for the healing and protecting your team. And really, I think Val and Tassi are enough double threats. Having them double casting their ultimate is enough to kill off a lot of enemies, and then Rowan to charge up the energy. Valor Shield to make the Tumisa really tanky, and also give haste to the Tassi in the back. So this is a great team that you can try as well. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other team options. So apart from this, we have the Scarlita Stroll team, which is exactly the team I'm running with the Tide Call spell, and this also did well for my guildmate, and so definitely this is a team that you can try, and we've already mentioned and talked about this. And then other than that, we had a couple more teams that did well. There was a Mauler team with Lenya, and Mauler with Lenya is always a good option, and in this case you'll want to do Shakira and Lenya on the buff tiles. Even my guildmate Splash runs a team kind of like this for Supreme Arena defense. You can go for the Verdant spell, as you can see here. It powers up Lenya's and Shakira's damage by giving them penetration, and the Mauler buff tiles are just really strong for PvP, especially when you can get the 3rd node unlocked, or the final node unlocked of stage 3, which gives them immunity to the first fatal blow that they take. And then you have the Soul Pact on Mikola, because she has a difficult time surviving. And overall, really strong and solid team. I like this a lot, and definitely another team that you should give a try if you have these heroes built up, especially if you have Lenya. She does really well in Maulers. Then we have this kind of fully Mauler team. Interesting that the Smokey is on the buff tile. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. I would probably want to do Shakira instead of the Smokey. I think that would be better. But maybe this person didn't have a Shakira built up, and so again, a full 5-man Mauler team is a good option for Clashfronts, especially with Odie as your damage threat, Mikola to power up your team with the attack buff, because Mikola and Brutus and then Elsa as well are all going to be in the front, giving you control of the on arena. And definitely this is a strong option with the Verdant spell. It gives you really solid stats and some good class-based buffs. Okay, so we have that one, and then apart from that, we have a Wilder team. A fully 5-man Wilder team. Haywin for healing, Prissa and Lily May for the damage output, and Floribel for like the stall factor and more summons, which can also deal pretty good damage and has a crowd control from her ultimate. So this is also a really good team. And probably it is actually better to give Lily May the buff tile rather than Floribel, because it would power up her damage even further, and like she's a more major form of damage than Floribel, but you could have Floribel on the buff tile as well if you want, because Lily May with her Rainstorm Ballet is already untargetable, so she's kind of like already has it built in unaffected state, whereas Floribel doesn't have that. But yeah, definitely a good team, full of 5-man Wilder team. And then finally, what do we have as the final team here? We have another Mauler team with Lily May added into it. And I guess this person only had one buff tile, maybe. Otherwise, you might as well give it to like the Coco or give it to the Lily May for free prime carrier for the shielding. And so this is a team you can run as well, which is a more budget team with lower like investment into your faction talent tree. And again, Maulers just work well. So like on Tundra, Brutus, Coco, Odie, and then you can run Mikola, you can run Shakira, you can run Lenya as another hero for the Mauler. Or you can even run Lily May like in this team for more damage and interruption of the opponent. So these were the teams which got the most win streaks for our first round of our legendary tier match in Clashfronts. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of which different teams you can try if, for example, you're not able to run the teams I mentioned in my video yesterday, or if those teams might not be working out well for you. Then these are some great teams you can try as well. And also, especially, I'm happy that we saw a Splashes team, because that is a good Hypogean Celestial team, because I never usually use Hypogean Celestial teams. I always have the main faction teams. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I definitely want to do more of these as we have future rounds, especially like this one, we only had 2 different grids to attack on. I think when we have more goods accessible, you're going to see more teams shine, because more teams overall are going to get play. Because right now, few teams got play because certain teams just cleared the grid for you. But when we have more teams in action, then you're going to see some other top performing teams like Worcester's teams, my teams, Farcalis' teams, Splash's other teams. We didn't see any of them really. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.